At Shelter Insurance, we've found that peace of mind offers some real advantages. That's why we work hard to make things easier for you. By sheltering your cars, by sheltering your home, by sheltering your toys, by sheltering your life. Peace of mind. Isn't that the best shelter there is? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Shelter Agent Mark Manning about Shelter's competitive insurance rates.
David Black for John Chadwell, NEDC in downtown Newport. And of course, we're talking after Port Fest, and we want to remind everybody of how important that NEDC, our chamber, our Port Fest committee, our city government, our county government, we want to thank all those people of the hard work that they do in putting this Port Fest together that they just had this past weekend if you're watching early in the month of June. But it was a great success, and we just want to thank everybody for that. You know, at NEDC, we get to visit with John Chadwell each and every month, and John was just so busy in helping out and doing what he did to make this economic boom for this Port Fest deal when we filmed on Wednesday prior to Port Fest. But anyway, congratulations to all those folks in government. John Chadwell wanted us to pass along on his show. The NEDC committee says congratulations to the city of Newport for having such a great Port Fest, and John Chadwell will join us next time on NEDC Report. St. Michael's Place in the month of June. Jay Cox always joins us here on the program. Jay, we have a special guest. First of all, welcome to you again, sir, and tell us about our special guest.
It's good to have you here, David, and we are getting ready for Port Fest.
Yeah, on this day, on this Wednesday when we film.
Big changes this time.
Yes.
Seeing all the stuff set up downtown, that's awesome. Anyway, we have with us a new employee.
Okay.
This is Lachelle Burns, and she's an RN, and she's our clinical liaison / marketing director, and she joins us from the Walnut Ridge area. But I'll let her tell us a little bit about herself.
Okay, good deal.
And so we want to introduce Lachelle to our staff here.
Hey, Lachelle, welcome to St. Michael's Place. And you told me a little bit before we got on the air that what a wonderful place this is to work. Tell us first of all, tell us how you got here. How did you end up at St. Michael's Place?
Well, the administrator is Rita Hill, and I had previously worked with her as her marketer, and this position came open, and I applied for it and got it.
Wow, fantastic. Always good to know people, and always good to work with people that you worked with before. Now, first of all, let me ask about marketer. What does a marketer do? What are some of the job responsibilities on that end of it?
We go out into the communities, to the different hospitals, healthcare facilities, and just get St. Michael's Place name out there. Okay.
And when you say that you're also an RN, kind of gives you an advantage when you're out promoting. Tell us a little bit about that.
It does. I worked in the clinics and hospital and nursing homes, and so that gave me good experience in bringing in residents to a nursing home.
Absolutely. I don't want to kind of go back a little bit. Tell us about how long you've been an RN and where you got your training, and tell us a little bit about that.
I've been an RN since December of 2009.
Okay.
I got my training at Black River Technical College in Pocahontas.
Good deal.
And I started out at Lawrence Health Services and just moved through there. They have a clinic, they have a nursing home, they have a hospital.
Good deal. Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us where you're from, where you live, where you graduated from high school. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I am from Walnut Ridge.
Okay.
I graduated from high school from Black Rock.
Okay.
I am married 21 years.
Wow.
I have a son. He's 19, a Christian.
Good.
Involved in my church.
Good deal. And then you've been here a month now, and just tell us a little bit about working here and working with these people, because you have said that it's a good group to work for. Tell us a little bit about that.
I have worked with a lot of people, and I've met a lot of people. The people here at St. Michael's are the best group of people I have worked with in all of my years.
Yeah, pretty good testimony, I would think, Jay.
Good group of people.
Yes, absolutely.
Part of the responsibilities is not just in our community that she does, is that she actually, because we have residents that come from Searcy, from Batesville, from Jonesboro. Many of the citizens of Newport, if need major surgeries and things, they may be referred to some of the bigger hospitals and not just Unity Health here. And so we actually pick up referrals and future residents from these places. So when she goes out to market, she actually goes she travels all the time.
Absolutely.
So we actually work as a team. I am social service director, but also when the referral comes in, because she's out on the road, that comes to my desk, and so I begin to work on the insurance part of it. We've talked in the past when it's not just showing up and admitting a loved one in here, that we have insurance we have to verify, and income, and all kinds of things that take place. So we actually kind of work as a team, which is new for us, because we've both picked up some responsibilities and are feeling our way through this together. So,
well, anytime you get new people and you get a new administrator, and you're not starting from scratch, because what a base that we had here to begin with, but it certainly makes the growing process a lot easier for everybody.
Yes.
And you guys have continued to do that, and when you can hire folks like Lachelle to come in here and do what she does. And so it's been a good 4 weeks, I assume?
It's been a very good 4 weeks.
Fantastic. Well, we welcome you to St. Michael's Place. We welcome you to Newport, Arkansas, and I know Jay's excited to have you, and I know that all the folks are here. When you can get good people in here, it's just a plus for you.
Yes, it does.
Hey, we appreciate y'all taking time to join us.
Good to see you again.
St. Michael's Place, we're in Newport. If you need our services, you can certainly give us a call, come by and visit, and we will show you the facility, and we can tell you what we can do for you. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Come see us.
We want to talk MRI today, and we're at the WRMC Medical Center, the Newport Complex. Amanda Everidge will join us, and she's the technologist that is the expertise when it comes to MRIs, and the one that can soothe our soul when we walk in and go, I'm afraid of an MRI. First of all, welcome.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about Amanda. Tell us where you grew up. Tell us a little bit about education, and tell us how you got here.
Okay. Well, I'm a Batesville girl. I'm born and raised in Batesville. My husband and my daughter and we currently live in Batesville.
Okay.
And I got this job through, I knew that I had worked in Newport for a long time. I'd done the prisons, I'd done other clinics,
Right.
even mobile x-ray. And so I thought, I know a lot about this area, even though that I'm not from here. And I thought, well, why not take a chance to keep serving in the area?
Sure.
So I am an ASU graduate.
Okay.
And I have my degrees in X-ray and MRI. So
let me ask you this. Got to ask you
Okay.
this. And you talk about, when did you know along the way that you wanted to be in this field and be an MRI technologist and an X-ray? I mean, did it hit you? Did it hit you later on? Did you know when you were 6 years old, or because this is such a unique field to be in?
yes. Well, I have always been one of those where I want to help people.
Okay.
I want to, and I've always been a nurturing type person, and I want people to be able to get through things. And, and this just helps me be part of a team to where I can help doctors and even
Sure.
patients get the information that they need to be better, to feel
Absolutely.
better,
Absolutely.
to have answers. And that's what I loved, is that, every person's body is different. And just discovering something else, and me knowing the answers before anybody else knows the
There you
answers,
go.
so that, I have the secret.
Well, there's a lot of us that need MRIs from time to time. Give us some examples of those people that you're seeing that need the MRIs. When doctors say we need an MRI for whatever.
Okay. Well, we do it for a variety of specialties. I see anywhere from general practice. I see people from oncology.
Okay.
Like if they have cancer and we want to make sure, see if cancer's spreading
Sure.
anywhere. We've gone through orthopedics, urology, you name it. I've probably got some sort of exam for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. MRIs are something that when we're told that we need to have an MRI, we sometimes go, I'm going to have to go lay in a big old tube and the bells are going to be ringing, and we don't have that here. Our technologies are upgraded. We went back and took a look at the MRI machine. Talk a little bit about the new technology and how you can personally help when people come in here and they are a little frightened about having an MRI, how you can calm those nerves.
Okay. Well, the biggest thing is that with our machine, it's a more open concept. So you don't feel so closed in. Okay. You know, and I have other techniques besides talking through to patients. You know, I let them say, okay, well, we can put a washcloth over your face, so you don't have to worry about looking at the top of the magnet. Or I can give you any kind of music. I have internet radio, so you name it, and I can put it through headphones, and I'm watching you the entire time. So I'm able to talk to you in between scans to make sure that you're doing okay and you don't feel like you're going to have a panic attack. Right. And if you do, I'm right there. I'm running in there for you. So.
And you mentioned something earlier about if you need some type of sedative,
yes,
and your doctor can prescribe that.
Yes, that is one thing that a lot of patients need to know, is that if they feel like they are going to need something to calm them for it, sure, they can talk to whoever ordered their MRI and have them, write a prescription for something and maybe take it 30 minutes to an hour before they actually come for their scan.
Well, we have to have them. All of us have to have them from time to time. Not all of us, but a lot of people have to have MRIs, and we do have that fear, especially if you're claustrophobic. I'm claustrophobic, but you said you are too, and you've been there.
I am, and so that's what makes it, that's what I feel like has helped me be a good technologist, is because I feel how everyone else feels when they're claustrophobic. I want to peel out of there just as much as anybody else. And, and I can put people in there so much easier than I can put my own self in there. Yeah. So, so I get where everyone's coming from when they're claustrophobic. And I just do the best I can to calm them for it.
Big announcement about the MRI here in Newport, and talk about being accredited. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, we just recently got accredited through the American College of Radiology, and that is one of the highest accreditations that you can have. That is actually that is demonstrating that we have the highest patient safety and image quality. And we went through a very comprehensive review for it, and we came out on top. And so we are now able to do a lot more insurances. So that makes it a lot easier on patients. So I can do a lot more variety of insurances. Well,
when you need the services, we hope that you would consider us. And I do know this, Amanda, that I can tell that your love for the job is immense, and you like what you do.
I do. I truly love what I do, and I love my patients, whether they're easy peasy or if it takes a little bit to get them through it. It's, I'm here. That's why I'm here, is to help you through it.
As a patient, what do we have to do to get here? What do we have to do to get to WRMC Medical Complex Newport to get an MRI? What do we have to do for that?
Well, the biggest thing is, your doctor, or whether it's primary care or specialty, whichever doctor decides that you need an MRI, then, just say, well, hey, since White River Medical Center Newport Complex has an MRI machine over here, I choose to go here. So that's all you really have to do, and then they can call our office and get it scheduled for you. And we try to do everybody the same day. Right. It doesn't always happen, but we strive to get them. We strive to get our patients in as quick as possible.
Before we get out here, about a time length. Are all MRIs basically the same time frame, or are there some MRIs that have a longer time frame because you need more scans?
Well,
Just give me an example.
Yeah, it really does depend. Some things require contrast, so then I would have to, scan a patient for about 15 minutes. Say I'm doing an MRI of your head. Okay. So I would do like about 15 minutes of scan time. Then I'll come in and I would start the IV, give you the contrast, and then probably another 5-10 minutes after that. And then if you have more than one study, say you have a C-spine and T-spine, or your neck and your mid-back, well then that would take a little bit more time. Right. So it just varies, and the MRI is very sensitive to motion. So that's the biggest thing, is the more still you are, the more still you can be, the the faster everything will go. So then I don't feel like I want to give the radiologist the best pictures I can for the patient's benefit. And so, you know, sometimes I do have to repeat, and sometimes some people just can't make it through it all, and that's okay. And it is what it is. It happens.
Well, I know that they're excited to have you here, and the MRI department is on the upswing, and
yes.
we certainly want you to consider us if you need our services, and we appreciate you taking time to come to explain to us about it's not really as bad as what you might think it is.
No.
And I looked at the machine, and it's not. It looks like a larger CT machine is what it looks like. It's not a tube anymore. It's not a tube where you just those old ones.
Like I said, this is the best thing about it, is it's a more open concept, because you know you're able to have a little bit more room to move around from side to side, and you know, and it's just a bigger opening, and it's shorter from end to end. So that makes it a lot better for claustrophobic patients. It's more ideal for them, you know. So
it sounds exciting to get an MRI, and it never does sound exciting to get an MRI, but it certainly feels more comfortable to know that people are there to care and take care of you. We appreciate you taking time to join us.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, Amanda, we have a lot more coming up on our show, so stay tuned for the Business Spotlight. Jackson Funeral Home, the 1900 block of Malcolm Avenue, and I know all of us have always been to some of the great services that we have here. And you know Frank Lowe, who has always been for the last 22 years, he just informed me, one of the people that you see around the funeral home. And good to see you, my friend. How's Frank doing?
I'm good.
Everything's good today, isn't it? Tell us, for those of us who do not know, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about growing up and school and so on and so forth, and then we'll get into you coming to Jackson's Funeral Home.
Well, I pretty much just, we moved from Newport here in '82 and moved to Tuckerman and started elementary school, and I made friends.
Right.
Got older, went to, got on up into high school, made more friends. Lost a few on the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And didn't really plan on, I never envisioned myself to be in this line of business.
I've had a lot of people tell me that. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I don't know. Maybe when something just falls into your lap, maybe it's fate, maybe. But to me, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time, right circumstances, and here I am.
22 years later.
22 years later. I never. That was one of those things that I would have never pictured myself, working here.
Tell me, you say how did the circumstances come about? Is it something you can share?
Yeah. Well, I think. I had an uncle that passed away.
Okay.
And come up here, and I knew Arthur. I knew,
sure.
And I remember sitting out in the parking lot, and I thought to myself, I was like, this wouldn't be that bad.
Right. Yeah.
A change of pace, because at the time I had graduated high school, and being a young father, I looked at, tried to work construction jobs.
Right, yeah.
Worked out medallion for a little bit, and evolved, and this just kind of, like I was saying, it just fell in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely.
I think I went to the unemployment office after that, and I asked, I said, do you have any jobs? Well, he said, I don't necessarily have this listed as a job, but I know that they have an opening down at Jackson's Funeral Home.
Wow.
And I remember coming in, and I talked to Jerry at about, I think it was maybe it was a Friday.
Okay.
Thursday or a Friday, and I came in and I talked to him, and I had just, it was funny, I said, Jerry, because I had just had my hair was relatively long at the time, so first thing I thought, I better get a haircut if I'm going to go talk to him, present myself a little bit better.
Yes, sir.
So I go get me a haircut, and apparently my idea of a haircut and his is total different. Because he says...
Think about getting a haircut?
He said something. I thought, I just got it.
You just got one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I told him, I said, oh, yeah, I'll take care of that.
Absolutely.
And he said, he goes, can you start Monday?
Wow.
And I thought, sure.
Sure.
I said, I can do that. And worked, and got, so I came to work and...
what were you doing when you first started? What'd you do? What was your job when you first started? A little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything. I think I washed some cars.
Yeah.
Jan's dad, Mr. Jackson, he taught me. I got to work with him for a little while.
Absolutely.
First thing he says to me is, he goes, we got to teach this boy how to tie a tie.
Really?
Because I didn't know how to tie a tie.
Right.
So he said, come here. And he gets me in the mirror. He goes, first you do this.
Right, yeah.
And then then you pull this through and you wrap this around and he pushed that tie up there. He goes, he said, you'll get it, just keep practicing.
I'll be darned.
And
it's funny how you remember the little things like that. The little things. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, just, so I would wash cars, we mow the yard.
Sure.
Put our suits on, work funerals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And try to give the people the best job that we can give them.
Well, y'all do that. You do that consistently. You do it on a regular basis. You do it like no other people do it. And I've talked on this program lots of times. I've been to a lot of funerals at a lot of different places. And nobody does it like the Jackson way. Nobody does it that way. I mean, you guys are professional. You guys and girls are professionals. I mean, it's an honor to do business with you folks. But it's not about me, and it's about you and what your services and what all y'all do. And in 22 years, I mean, looking back. And you say you can't imagine you being here 22 years, and I mean, as you sit there today, you think I'm pretty solid for another 22.
Yeah. And what really strikes me is whenever I go and I look back at how much just this building,
sure,
not counting the community also,
right.
But whenever I look back at this building and I say, well, whenever I started here, that entire warehouse wasn't
there.
There wasn't a walkway across the parking lot.
That's correct.
There were lights out in the middle of the parking lot that aren't there now.
Right.
And I just go, wow, this funeral home is, I've grown up.
You've grown, and so has the funeral.
So
absolutely.
So the funeral home.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about your family now, and you mentioned being an early father. Tell me about your family.
Yeah, whenever I was 17 whenever my first son Brett was born.
Okay.
And my kids, this is their home. They come here now. They know where everything is at here, just like I do.
Sure.
Brett, he actually worked here for a little while.
Right.
So he got to take part in the same experience as I did.
You bet.
So he parked cars and greeted people. And, and he washed cars, and he
done it all.
He's done it too, but he's in college now. Going to try to do a little better himself. And
good deal.
My middle child, Rhett, which he's 21 now, so he does his own thing now. He never did think about the funeral business. it just didn't seem his cup of tea.
Right, absolutely.
And like you were saying, not everybody has the same, has the ability to do some of the jobs that you do, or same jobs that
absolutely.
I do.
Yeah. It's,
but my little, I say my little daughter, that's another one. She's 17 now.
Right.
She's getting ready to be a senior. So, and I look back and I thought whenever I started here, she wasn't even born.
Unbelievable.
And you go,
unbelievable.
And so she's been, and again, this is all that they know is. They never knew that Dad worked at any other place.
Sure, absolutely.
This is just it.
And as a young man, I mean, honestly, you really don't know either because you were so young. I mean, you were just a kid when you were trying to work, and came here as a kid, and then 22 years later, you become a fine young man, and an interesting story, and to say the least. And I know how important that each person in this organization is.
Right.
I see that on a day-to-day basis. I see it during funerals. I see it during the visitations of how you guys coordinate everything together.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. It's amazing how it works from start to finish. And as we always say that there's never really a finish. I mean, it's just
right. It's amazing. We work together. We would think of it as a team, but
yeah,
it is.
It is a good team.
It's a tight-knit family team that we know that we have to get to this goal.
You bet.
And we want to make all these families happy. We want them to come into a funeral service and we show our respects, just courtesy,
absolutely,
kindness, help them through their process.
Absolutely, and it is a process.
It's a process.
There's two things I'm going to remember every time I see you for the rest of my life. First of all, your story about where you grew up.
Right.
And the second thing about Mr. Bob Jackson teaching you how to tie a tie. I just think that is so unique. I just think that is so good. I mean, there's the owner of this business, and he said, I need to teach you how to tie a tie. I like that.
And what's funny is, we joke about it, a lot here when stories are brought up about Mr. Jackson. We'll joke back and forth about sometimes he wouldn't remember the new guys.
Right.
Our names.
Right, okay.
So we would have a certain thing about, I was young boy.
Right, is that young boy? You're the young boy.
Get that young boy.
Get the young boy to get it done.
Yeah.
Get it done.
And Arthur told me he had a brother-in-law that worked here that was tall, and he was tall boy.
Tall boy. Get the tall boy. Get the young boy.
Yeah, tall boy and young boy.
22 years later, the young boy's still getting after it.
Still getting after it.
Frank Lowe.
Still getting it done.
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Appreciate you taking time to visit with us. And we're at the Jackson's Funeral Home, the 1900 block of Malcolm Avenue. And Frank, again, is part of that cohesive team that just makes it work at Jackson's. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Dr. Gavin McDowell, Customized Vision Care in the Village Mall. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Thank you, and y'all have a good day.
Thank you. That was the
been a
best
good day.
interview bit ever.
Not bad. Not bad. Sometimes it takes us longer than that, it seems.
It flies by when everything just flows right. That's what.
Do you know when we put all these things together, we do a lot of interviews. This is the truth, and I go, okay, this one's 5 minutes, this is 7 minutes, and I always look at ours, and it's 18 minutes, 17 minutes, and I think, I had fun with that guy.
Well, it's because you charge me more.
I do, absolutely. And I don't want all those other people to realize that you're probably not getting your money's worth.
Oh, you are. It's because of our spot that everybody else gets their segments watched, because everybody watches for us.
That is correct. If it weren't for us,
we're like the Abbott and Costello.
We're better than that. Of what?
Local access cable.
Yeah. We're good too.
We're better than Wayne and Garth ever thought they would be.
You think so?
Yeah.
Man, I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel good now. But what I really feel good about, the weather.
I bet you scared me. Thank
No.
goodness. I was scared where that was going.
No, the weather's nice, and it just reminded me of sunglasses.
Oh,
Come on, tell me the spiel about this time of year. Tell me the spiel. Oh, you gotta have sunglasses.
There's
because...
this great big ball of fire in the sky that we're not supposed to look at.
And we look at it.
What in the world's up with that? I mean, it's like saying, there's this magical thing in the drawer in there. Don't go look at it.
But you go.
But you gotta go look.
You gotta go look, and you look right up and you squint, and you go, man, it's bright out here, and it's probably not good for your health.
There's a lot of bad things that go along with just a lot of sun exposure. I mean, you get sunburn, right?
Sure.
What do you think your eyes are going through?
Get sunburn. Yeah.
Get sunburn, and then the back of your eye gets a lot of UV damage, and UV rays are the leading cause of early onset cataracts, and they're linked to macular degeneration. And
so what you're saying is, if we're going to be in the sun, you're not saying don't be in the sun.
Oh gosh, no! Get out and get some sun.
Get out in the sun.
Yeah.
Get out there. Be somebody.
This time of year, it's still fresh in our memories how we were huddled inside when it was cold all the time.
Do you know, I just got back from Emporia, Kansas. We were up there weekend before last at the baseball tournament.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. Me too, because Emporia, Kansas is in the middle of Kansas. But,
yes. Oh,
and
well.
If you've ever been to Kansas, you know you're in the middle of nowhere. And I can see why Dorothy and the house, I could see why it took a long time for it to come back. I mean, you could land anywhere, nobody could find you.
Exactly. Everything looks the same.
Yeah, everything was the same. But anyway, my point of the story was that we always carry, in baseball season, our cold clothes just in case.
Yep.
And on this trip, we had a couple extra people going with us, so we needed some trunk room, and it was going to be nice weather, so we took all of our cold stuff out, and lo and behold.
How'd that work out for you?
Day 3 was cold. I mean, cold. It didn't work out real well. What I was thinking is, we probably should have kept our cold gear, our warm gear, cold gear they call it, keep you warm.
Yeah.
Should have kept it in the trunk. We didn't. It was cold. It was cold. I'm wearing a coat.
You got to cuddle up with strangers, though, right?
I did. What fun.
Nothing wrong with it, though.
What fun. Oh, no.
Make a friend.
I did.
You need friends.
I'd need something. I need something. I don't know about friends. But we do need sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
We offer that product here.
We do.
Good lines.
With fervor.
Fervor. I didn't know Fervor made it.
I know. It's great.
I thought it was like.
You know what's great about a lot
Oakley? Fervor? I didn't know Fervor made one.
Fervor.
Oh, Fervor. With Fervor. With Fervor.
That sounds like an extra added ingredient. Anyway. Yep. We got Oakley, we got Ray-Ban, we got Bolay. I'm a big fan of the Bolay. We talked about that last time. We talked about Bolays last time a little bit.
Yeah, because they're good.
And they're really good, and the price point's really good. Yeah. Really good. We should have prepared. I should have put side-by-side comparisons here. We got Bolays that, I mean...
From a price point.
Well, no, I mean, let's put it this way. Style-wise, everybody's going to... If something works really good, like, okay, Tom Cruise, Top Gun.
Yes, sir.
What kind of sunglasses was he wearing?
I don't know.
Ray-Ban Aviators.
Ray-Ban Aviators. That's what he said.
And
I didn't believe him. See, I should have been went, Ray-Ban Aviators.
That's all. He's good about that. He's going
I
to work
knew
on
that.
your sign
I knew
language.
that. I knew it. I'm
Yep.
sorry I missed it.
But anyway.
He was.
When aviators became very popular, everybody else who made sunglasses, guess what they did?
They made one just like
They made one just like it.
Absolutely they did.
And then Tom Cruise, Risky Business.
Ben?
Ray-Ban Wayfarers.
And everybody's
got a Wayfarer.
Okay.
Because they're still classic, iconic looking styles. Everybody's got something that looks like it. Oakley's got the wraps.
Yep.
Very sporty.
Yep.
Guess what? Most everybody's got a wrap, sporty.
Yep.
Now, in this industry, there's a lot of knockoffs, yes.
Sure.
And a lot of people's copies don't work out very well. But I will say this about the Bolays. The Bolays, they have similar styles to the Wayfarers and the wraps like Oakley, stuff like that. But the price point's usually about half.
Right.
And so my problem has always been, or I say my problem, I'm just like everybody else. Whenever I started wearing sunglasses, I'm going to
Stylish.
lose them.
Right.
Why am I going to spend more than $20 on a pair of sunglasses?
Sure.
Then I got a pair of nice ones and realized how well
Absolutely.
the optics were
Yes,
and all that stuff. So I saw the value.
There is a difference. There's a value.
Oh, there's a big difference.
Yes, sir, there is.
And so then I learned to take care of them. So since then, I believe in a quality pair. But yeah, I didn't want to spend $300 on a pair of sunglasses. I hate for my patients to have to.
Right.
If they want to, I want to make it available to them.
Sure.
But if I can get you in something just as stylish and protects your eyes just as well at right around half the cost,
Sure.
why not?
Pretty good deal, isn't it?
And a lot of the other ones, there's a reason I haven't had a lot of different sun options in the office because a lot of them are just knockoffs.
Right.
It's just, let's make this and throw a different name on it. But not only is Bolé, they very much emulate the styles.
Oh, I like that word.
I know.
I like that word.
Edumacated is what
I like
am.
that word, emulate.
Emulated. But they emulate the styles from other brands, but they have their own flair. They had their own style to go into it. And it's I can't describe it. It's one of those things you almost have to come in to see or
Ben, hand me
search
those
online.
Sunglasses, please, sir.
Bolé, 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 Bolé.
Now, Ben just happened to pick these out a while ago.
It's Newport Orange.
It is. There we go. I mean, enough said.
Yeah.
A picture is worth
Did we talk last time about some? We got some that float.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did. We got a little thing on the back.
How can you?
This time of year, you go to the lake?
I know.
Because everybody, you talk about the $20 pair of sunglasses, you lose those, but you just lose them because you don't care where they are.
Exactly.
If you've got the good ones, those are the ones
If your
that
good ones
you're real
fall off
sick.
on the boat,
You're sick.
That's when you see your buddy jump off the pontoon where you're going 30 miles an hour.
Right.
What'd he do? He dropped his sunglasses.
It happens. It happens. Every trip.
Here we go. Floaties.
Oh, we're floating.
Floaties.
Oh, we are floating.
Look
You
at
know
that.
what I like? I like the props. Just throw props at us.
And that
Here we
makes
go.
it so comfortable.
Yeah.
Too. And you want to talk about light? Thank you, Rachel.
You-
America.
you or me?
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. America.
I like it.
4th of July. If you're looking for something
like
for 4th of July, there we go. For the low, low price of $478. I'm kidding. But this week
Good
only.
price point. Yeah. Good price point. Less than $500.
The price point of that is $130. Hey, grab a pair of Wayfarers for me.
Let me see those. We're just going to try on sunglasses and see. You folks, y'all are welcome to come by and try on a few of these, see how y'all look. Because we know we look good. We're looking good. Oh, now those, I like those. Oh, I like those too. Oh, I'm liking all these. Look at us.
So I want you to do me a favor.
Yes, sir. I will. Ben, can you see all these?
What's the big difference you see in all that?
What's the big difference I see in all
other than a name, what's the style difference? These are smaller. I mean, yes, the eye size is a bit smaller, but
Yes,
let's take these two. Those are more comparable in size. What's the difference?
The difference between those two sunglasses right there.
Other than $50.
I don't see just a lot, honestly. Is there
Exactly.
supposed to be a difference?
That's a Ray-Ban, that's a Bolé.
Wow. And these are $50 less, right?
And that's those.
You know the terminology I use, don't you?
What's that?
Cat cool.
Check.
Cat cool.
Well, I'm glad you use that
like it.
terminology because no one else does.
So y'all have a variety of choices,
Yeah.
a variety of lines.
You look like you're. What time do you tee off this morning?
8:30.
Okay, just check.
Went from 8:30 to 11.
I look like I'm about to ride a bald eagle into battle on these.
I was thinking the exact same
Were
thing.
you really?
Yeah,
It's amazing.
absolutely. I couldn't.
We're like
I couldn't.
amazing like that.
Are we good on time? Have we said anything? Ben?
We're going for 19 minutes this time.
Have we said anything
Oh,
that deals with the professionalism that we provide at Customized Vision Care? Now, those right there, I will say this. Those are green.
You're like one of those CSI guys. You know that?
I don't know about all that, but what does that mean?
Your deductive skills are on
Yeah,
point.
they are good, aren't they?
Yeah, they're green. But I mean, that's a polarized lens. It's a Wayfarer style.
For some reason, I don't know. Grant was at UAM and they were green. I should have had these all.
That's almost $100 less than those.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, what about this little thing that keeps waving in my eye? What about that?
You have to get used
to. Does that come with it?
Well, it does. It helps for like occlusional therapy. That's a word I just made up for you.
What was that?
Occlusional therapy.
Occlusional?
Yeah.
We'll look that one up.
What about these? I don't look good in a round. Round lenses just don't.
Surprisingly enough, I like those best.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
On me or just?
On you.
Well,
I promise you.
That's why whenever you come in to pick out glasses, you never take a man's opinion. Because
that's why I bring Linda Black.
Because men dress for women and women dress for other women, so.
Let me see those, please, sir. I like those on you. No. Tell the truth. It's just a show. Dial right now. Dial the number on your screen.
What was that Seymour Hoffman? Oh, he passed away. He was in some movie with Truman Capote.
I don't know. I don't know either.
It looks like y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't know.
If you want sunglasses, would y'all please come to the Village Mall in Newport, Arkansas?
Pretty please.
And look at these choices that we have for you. And the price point.
I like the word.
That's
a fun
word.
Word. Price point. It makes it sound very, I don't know, almost organized. Price point.
Price point. The price point on these is exceptionally lower than the price point on those.
Yeah. But I agree with you. If you like the Ray-Ban name, fine. And I like Ray-Ban. I own some Ray-Bans and I own some Oakleys, but I go in between everything. So.
How many pair do you have? Honestly, I mean, how many? Did you have 15
personal
or 3 or 4?
I got about 20.
Do you?
Personal pair of sunglasses, yeah.
I'm behind.
Well, I don't wear glasses. I mean, I'm blessed in the fact that I only need reading glasses.
Before we run out of time, tell me this: what determines which ones you wear? Honestly, I mean, when you go in, if you got 20,
it's my outfit.
The occasion or the outfit.
Yeah, okay. or the occasion, yeah. I have a couple pair that look almost exactly the same style, just the color slightly different. So, like I'm going on a trip, I want to take one pair. I take, that pair goes with most everything, so I'll wear that. But yeah, it depends on what I'm doing, what I'm wearing. Let's put it this way. You got a toolbox?
Yes. More than one.
More than one toolbox. And I bet
no, more than one tool in the toolbox.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have more than one tool in the toolbox.
I have more than one screwdriver
and
more
women,
than one wrench.
I'm assuming
more than one pair of shoes.
More than one pair of shoes.
I agree. We need more than one pair of sunglasses.
Why is everybody trying to make a pair of house shoes do everything? Or why is every woman trying to make one pair of flats? Oh, and I feel bad my wife has got me to that point that I know all these differences. But anyway, why do women have one pair of flats they want to try to make it work with everything? And why do men have one screwdriver they try to make work on every job they're doing?
Doesn't happen.
Doesn't work that way. You need specific tools for a job, or you need specific shoes for an outfit. This is not only fashion, but they're functional. These protect your eyes and make you look cool. Get them right here.
I think the look is the. I mean,
for guys, it's a look.
You know, it is.
For guys, it's the look. Yeah,
it is. You know, just you want to feel like you look pretty good. Absolutely. You don't want to put them on and go, boy, look bad. Well,
I got a pair of ugly ones.
Boy, I'm gonna wear those today.
I do. Oh boy, I do. I have a really pair of ugly ones. They were so ugly I had to have them.
I wouldn't doubt it. Dr. Gavin McDowell, Customized Vision Care. We do sunglasses, but we do other things.
I can't tell if you're looking at me.
I like these right here. These are the ones I want. I want these. I still like the round ones.
Where am I looking?
I can't tell.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
You're good, aren't you?
I'm good.
If you need sunglasses, you can join us. Come to the Village Mall in Newport and get them. He's Dr. Gavin McDowell, and I'm not. So long, everybody. Lindley Health and Rehab, Newport, Sherry Hanley, Jordan Price. Y'all know who Sherry Hanley is. And Sherry, tell us just a little bit about Jordan before we get to talking to her about what her expertise is here.
Well, Jordan is a member of our Lindley family, Team Lindley, yay. She is actually in our therapy unit, does an amazing job. She's kind of like the class clown. She's a lot of fun to be around. The residents love her, and they have so much fun with her. And I'll let Jordan kind of tell us, everybody, what she does here and how much fun we have here.
Well, and before we get into that, tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about where you're from, where you grew up, graduated. Tell us a bit about education, so on and so forth. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I grew up in Wynn. I'm from Wynn originally. Grew up there, born there, everything. Went to high school there. Went to school in Jonesboro. Didn't really know what I was going to do, so it took me a little bit to get going. But then I ended up going to A-State's physical therapist assistant program and graduated there last May.
Why physical therapy?
Why not?
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I absolutely love it. I enjoy getting to help these people get back to their optimal level, get back to where they need to be, and it's one of the most rewarding things that you can do. To see
Let me ask you this. Did you know that, or when did you know you wanted to, number one, be in physical therapy, and number two, want to work in a nursing home?
Well, I knew that I wanted to do physical therapy whenever I worked as a personal trainer at 10 Fitness. Yeah. And I started having some geriatric clients. I never really knew that I wanted to do it exactly, but then I got into the program, and we get to do different clinical settings. So I went to an outpatient clinic, I went to a peds clinic, and then I ended up being in a nursing home. And I was scared to death of being in a nursing home.
Really?
It terrified me. And then I got there and I cried when I left. It was a 5-week rotation, and I did not want to leave.
Is that right?
Yep. And I was like, all right, no kids, nothing else. I want to go to geriatrics.
Wow. And how long have you been here, and how did you get here? How did you get at Lindley?
Well, I've been here since last July.
Okay.
Last July, middle of July.
Okay.
And it was just, I had just taken my boards, gotten the news that I passed my boards, and that was a party in itself, amazing. But then I got an email that was saying, hey, we're looking for, we have a spot here. Do you think, you want to be a part of the team? Came in, interviewed, loved it, been here ever since.
Tell me a little bit about what you actually do on a day-to-day basis. What's it like on a day-to-day basis here at Lindley in the physical therapy department?
Well, most of us get here, I get here around 6 in the morning. Usually I try to time what time I get here and what time I leave with the 6 to 2 shift.
Okay.
Because they're getting up in the mornings. If they ever need help getting up, we go in there and we help them get up. If people are awake from about 6 to 7, we have an hour to where we can, work with the early birds. There's always some people that want to come in and drink their coffee and do their therapy and get done. Then during the morning we work with absolutely anybody that has therapy, and do any kind of balance exercises, any kind of just general strengthening, working on getting in and out of the bathroom, in and out of the shower, whatever we need to do.
Generally speaking, when you're talking about your patients and being in a nursing home, and I know you do short-term and long-term, and are the folks generally receptive to the therapy? Do they enjoy the therapy?
Yes. We, every once in a while we get somebody that's just kind of like, man, I'm tired, I don't want to do it,
sure.
And that takes a little bit of finagling your way to figure out how to work with each person. But yeah, mostly everybody loves it. Once they're here for about a week, it takes them about a week, and they're like, what are these people doing? And then it's like, okay, all right, we're good, let's go. And
then it makes them feel better. Once they get into the routine, they feel so much better.
Oh yeah, the routine is key. Getting, if you work with somebody every day at 6, you work with them at 6. If you work with somebody every day before lunch, usually you need to work with them before lunch. If not, their whole day is gone.
It sounds to me like you just have a blast doing your job.
I absolutely love it. People tell me that, whenever I talk about my job or whenever I tell them what I do, they're like, well, you sound like you're having so much fun. What do you actually do? And I kind of go into the spiel I just told you. But if you don't love what you do and you don't look forward to getting up every day and going to your job, you're working. I'm not working. I
like that.
I love it.
Tell me a little bit about the Lindley family. Tell me how you feel about the Lindley family.
Ever since I started working here in July, it was my first job out of college, and I was absolutely nervous. I was so nervous because I'm like, okay, I know what I need to do. I know how to do it, but it's kind of still getting in the groove of things. But I can't imagine working anywhere else. Everybody here is like it's like a family. I know everybody's name now. It took me a while, but I know everybody's name, from CNAs to nurses all the way up to administration. I know everybody here will say hi. Everybody here will work together and get just anything that needs to get done, we get it done. And we get it done and we have fun at the same time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But before we get out here, I want you to introduce us to what looks like a stuffed puppy down here. And this is actually not a stuffed puppy. This is a beautiful little puppy. Tell me about this puppy.
This is Boog, and he is my puppy dog. He is my fur child. And he is he has such a docile temperament. He is a Corgi and an Australian Shepherd mix.
Wow.
And if you have a ball in your hand, he will throw it, or you will throw it until your arm falls off, because he will go get it. He's so docile, and he just loves to come to work with me. You know, he's never been through any kind of formal training, but you come in here and you know he's a therapy dog.
Sherry, I think y'all have done okay with this hire at Lindley. I think this young lady's going to do wonderful things, not only for Lindley, but certainly for the residents.
For the residents. And the residents, they absolutely love Jordan. They love everyone in our therapy department, and they love Boog. And he loves them too.
Oh, yeah, he definitely loves it. He loves it here.
Well, Jordan, we appreciate you taking time to visit with us today. Sounded to me like the physical therapy department here that's where it's going on right here.
That's the happening place.
Lindley Health and Rehab. If you need our services, you can call, you can come by, you can come visit with us, and I promise you, you'll always see a happy smile here at Lindley. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
This is a good friend of mine. This is Mr. Ted Hall.
A good friend of mine.
Batesville, Arkansas's finest.
That's right.
How's Mr. Ted Hall?
I'm good. Well, I have not been on here for a couple of times.
No, you've been hiding out on me.
I've been busy, but I think we've had some folks from our different areas.
Sure.
That we do. You know, White River Area Agency on Aging been around, I guess, going on about 38 years now.
Long time.
Long time. And so we have the different programs, so we try to share all the different things that we do, and you know, whether it's be foster grandparents,
sure,
or whether our ombudsman program, or our HUD housing. We have 188 units of HUD housing throughout our 10-county area, and certainly we appreciate our folks as they take care of people in those different housing areas. And then, of course, today our biggest program by far, David, is what we call in-home services, and that's of course we have Eagle Mountain Assisted Living, because
sure,
that's a big deal. But our biggest program by far, and where we have 800 employees here, and probably 650 are related to in-home services.
Wow!
And when I'm talking about in-home services, I'm talking about when we actually go into a person's home and we help them do lots of things. Sometimes we're in homes where we stay 1 hour or 2 hours a day, or some we're in there 8 hours, those kind of things like that. So, but what we do is actually we help people give baths, we help them cook, we just do bathing and cleaning and all those kind of things. And so what we say, David, if someone has a question about senior care in general, they need to call us here at our office. And we are a corporate office here in Batesville, but like I said, we're scattered throughout the 10-county area. Of course, particularly in Independence and Jackson County are very good folks that we have a lot of business there. But we ask them to call us, and then we'll have a care manager to come out and visit them in their home, wherever they want. They come to offices or wherever, but we usually have family members come together because they want to know if they're coming in their mom or dad's house.
Sure.
They want to know that they know who they're dealing with. And so we have background checks and all those kind of things, our aides that go into their homes. I mean, they are vital to what we do.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I could be sitting here in this office, but if we didn't have those aides who go out there and really connect with the people they're serving, that we wouldn't exist. And we do provide training for them. They have to have 40 hours of training. And we have a training center where they learn how to lift people out of beds, and they learn all the different things. They learned how to shave people. I mean, it's just, when you go in there, it's pretty interesting to watch all the training that goes on. So, David, my point is that if seniors, someone that is a senior in their family and they have questions, and a lot of times people don't even know what White River Area Agency on Aging, what does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean? So
I've had people ask me, say, I see this show, tell me a little bit. Yeah,
right.
I've had people ask me.
You know, so that's what we're trying to do, is talk about things in general today, but really zero in on our in-home services. And it's important that we're out there serving people. And so there is some things that someone needs to know. First of all, they need to call us, and then we'll make an appointment. We have care managers that comes out, and they just visit with the family and they see what the needs are. And basically we'll go into the home and see if right off the bat if anything dealing with safety issues.
Right.
And falls are the number one cause for seniors that are 62 and over. Those injuries result of falls. So we're going to look around and see what goes on. And then also, David, before we were on the air, we talked about right now it's a nice temperature here today in this part of the country, but later on it's going to get hot. So we need to make sure that our folks are being cared for, and that they've got cooling, and that of course, the other thing is make sure there's plenty of food.
Sure.
There, of course, Meals on Wheels, we can help them with that if they need that. And of course, the senior centers are, we encourage people to participate in the senior centers, and those are really important. Of course, at Newport, we're working on the Castleberry School as we speak, and that is going to be a nice facility.
It is going to be.
It's going to really be a good thing for Newport. But anyway, we have places for seniors to go, and if they do need help, they can talk to us. And so that's David, you've been around, you've been known about what we do for a long time, and so we wanted to talk about that today.
So many different scenarios where when a case manager goes into a home, there's different needs.
Yes.
I mean, there's no two cases alike.
Right.
Lots of things are different.
Sure. They may just need someone to cook them a couple of meals. If you think about it, if you have Meals on Wheels, well, it takes care of your lunch.
Sure.
If we need to come in and help with breakfast or cook something for dinner too.
Sure.
So it's those kind of things that, right now we may not think it's that big a deal, but if you get not feeling well or there's problems with getting up and down, that becomes a very big deal.
Right.
And so that's really, we fill in the gap there. And most people, they really want to stay home, and there's certainly not anything wrong with nursing homes. They have their place, but we have our place too. And so we try to help people where they are, and then many times they'll come to us and they'll want to know about insurance. Do they have long care insurance, or are they a veteran? Well, we help with all those programs. Sure. And then there may be cases where we can't help them, and we may advise that you may need to go look at the nursing home, or you may need to go here, or we may need to bring somebody else from outside. But we can help with that, and our folks are trained to do that. And we're not trying to be a hard sell. I mean, we certainly, if there's something there that we can do to help folks, then certainly we want to be part of that deal. But our big thing is make sure that seniors are being served. And that's really the philosophy and the mission behind, and long before I got here, David.
Sure, absolutely.
And so, we're just trying to carry on what's been going on for a long time here.
You had mentioned about the whether it be children, somebody in the family, coming in with the meetings because they have a certain input. If it's mom and dad, if it's me and I'm taking care of mom and dad, but that's kind of vital. It's kind of vital that those people. We're trying to help seniors, and we need some help from ones that are not the seniors to help the seniors from a family standpoint. Yeah. Vitally important that the family get involved.
Right. And, we've talked about this before too, David, is that many times after a holiday, whether it be 4th of July or Christmas, Thanksgiving, they go home and they really see a drastic difference in their parents. And so that's really when we come in. And then also, we're all a working society where mom and dad's both working, and sometimes the help we give them, then they can help mom and dad after 5 o'clock after they get home. But for this period of time, then we play a vital role in people's lives. So anyway, it's kind of neat to be a part of. I
guarantee you.
Yeah, I enjoyed my schoolwork, my school days, and doing, was a ranger on Greers Ferret Lake, and even worked for First Community Bank here. But this job really, you get a satisfaction of people that need the help, and we do a pretty good job doing it.
You mentioned that, and I just want to hit on this just momentarily about when you're in the school business. Of course, you're helping teachers, and you're helping kids, and you're helping people that are on their way up and trying to they're climbing the ladder, so to speak, in life. And then on the other hand, now we're working with people who have they're at the top of the ladder,
and it's the ones who maybe become the most vulnerable and that need the most help.
Absolutely, and you know they
very rewarding.
Yeah, and they pay their dues, so they deserve to be taken
I
care
like
of.
That.
You know,
Absolutely.
So anyway, that's what we try to do, and we do that every day. And again, we got a lot of people out there in this large area that we cover, and you know we're helping a lot of people. We're making a difference.
You are making a difference, my friend. Mr. Ted Hall,
You bet.
White River Area Agency on Aging. Always my pleasure to get to visit with you, sir.
You bet.
Let's continue on with more of our show. Tommy Bain, Farmers Tire Mart, 1501 Malcolm Avenue. My friend, it's always a pleasure to see you on such a gorgeous, beautiful, sunny day.
Beautiful day. This is just what the doctor ordered.
The doctor ordered this because people on this time of year like to go on vacation. And
That's
when
right.
they're going on vacation, they need their car checked. And when they need a car checked, they need to come here.
Amen.
What will we check on these cars when people say, look, Mr. Bain, I'm fixing to go out of town. Take care of me, what I need to have done here.
Okay. We check under the hood, check the belts and hoses,
Okay.
oil and coolant level and power steering, transmission fluid. Check all those things for them, make sure they're in good order. And we check the tires, we check the brakes, and make sure that those things are ready for a hot trip.
It's always important because it's kind of like a so many point inspection. You hear that a lot, you know.
Yeah.
We're going to check this, that, and the other just to make sure that you're okay, because preventative maintenance is something that you've got to have, especially when you know you're going to be traveling out on the road.
Absolutely, and that's that's a really good idea to do that prior to hitting the road, you know, because it's so concrete and pavement heats up to 100+ degrees, and when that tire heats up, air pressure expands.
Right.
And in the tires, and the tire needs to be in good shape to handle that heat. And we've had some folks come in already this year that this spring to get ready for the road. And some of them have needed tires, some of them have needed brakes, some of them have needed oil changed or transmission fluid changed or whatever. But we have that readily available here. And the thing that I like to stress more than anything, and that's make sure, if you don't bring it to us to get it checked out, get it checked out someplace.
Absolutely.
Because it's hot out there on that road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, and something that you talk about when you want your tires checked, a lot of people may not know that they really need a new set of tires, and that's what the professional people do. You come in and they may be wanting you to look at the brakes, and you can look at your tires and say, folks, let me show you something here with these tires on why you need a new set of tires right here before you go.
And that's preventative maintenance.
Absolutely it is.
Preventative
Absolutely.
maintenance.
You guys handle a lot of tires. There's not a lot of tires that you don't handle, but you've got a great line of tires, and we don't have them all in stock, but we can generally get them next day. Talk about some of your lines of tires.
We got Firestone, our main line, and we got some Kenda, and we got some for light trucks, four-wheel drive. We got Buckshots and Kenda mud terrains and Toyo mud terrains, and the different manufacturers. But we've got either in stock or available next day delivery is about all brands.
Absolutely.
And so we have at our disposal whatever kind, you know, size and type you need.
You can call us and you can set up an appointment like that, or you can come by and just say, Mr. Bain, I got this wrong with my car, I want you to check it out, or whatever the case may be when you're, you know, the general maintenance of the mechanical end of it. And you can leave the car here and you say, we'll work you in, but you don't have to have an appointment, but you got to know where your guys are right now, where we can fit you in line.
Absolutely, yeah. Appointment's best.
Absolutely it is.
But we do some work in stopovers on occasions.
I just bring mine off, stop, leave it there, and say, call me in a couple of days when you got it fixed.
Absolutely.
It always works.
And we try to work with you to see when you need it.
Absolutely.
And so when it needs to roll. So we have appointments and we have work-ins, and so we can take care of it.
You need your car check, your SUV check before you go on summer vacation. We recommend Farmers Tire Mart on Malcolm Avenue in Newport. Great service, been here a long time. Mr. Tommy Bain, Farmers Tire Mart, where?
The rubber meets the road.
It does that. Farmers Tire Mart, Mr. Tommy Bain. Terra Salinas Merchants and Planners Bank on a fun day because it's a day or two before Port Fest and everything's hectic in downtown Newport.
We're really excited. Yes, we are. We're getting ready. We're excited. It's going to be an awesome weekend. Downtown's going to be hopping. It's already hopping.
Yes,
it's like, where's the parking spot? You know, where am I going? And there's a carnival going on. I mean, when you say like you're going to work and every day is a carnival, literally right now it's a carnival every day.
Awesome. I mean, we're with the chamber, and let's just talk about this just for a second. Okay. We've got all the time in the world, but an enormous undertaking to move it from there to here. No other choice to do that, but what a choice. Either have this thing in downtown Newport or don't have this thing at all, and how much fun we're going to have on Port Fest. And by the time you watch this, it's already over, but there's going to be some bumps and there's going to be some little bruises, and there's supposed to be. There always is at Port Fest. We've done it 20 years. But man, it ought to be exciting.
I'm excited about it. And yeah, I mean, here's the deal. The show must go on.
Absolutely.
And I just admire the city, the organizations.
The organization of the plan.
Together. And
yes.
They're all like, let's do this. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a community to serve and we've got entertainment, you know, lined up, and we want it to be a good time, and we're going to do whatever we can do. And so, like I said, I admire all of our organizations, the chamber, the city, the county, you know, all of the people involved in this. They've just taken it on with a gusto, and it's so much work.
Oh, yes, it is.
And it's exhausting.
I mean, where to put up fences, where to get the parking, where to put the tents. It's complete. I mean, out there, we've done it for years, and there's always glitches out there too. But it's completely new, and I've seen the map, and I'm going to be working at the Port Fest or at the Chamber booth, and we're going to be passing out some of the maps and everything. But to me, to organize it like we have, is just been an enormous working together of a lot of folks that's going to make this thing work. I don't want to hear a complaint Friday or Saturday from anybody.
Everybody's going to have so
you.
much fun. And
Thank
I was
you.
going to say that it's going to be great, and I don't think, you know, I mean, you're always going to have the naysayers and the complainers, but I think the overall atmosphere is going to be great. And like I said, mainly, yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chamber. Thank you, NEDC. Thank you, City. Thank you, all of the officials for doing what you do, and all of the volunteers. Hundreds of volunteers. Yes. That's what Newport's about.
It is.
It's awesome.
It is that.
Yeah. So.
All right, we're going to talk Mercy Planners Bank, and we're going to talk a little bit about fraud. We're going to have a little fun. We're going to have a little test. Tara's going to give me a test and see how I do on whether or not I know anything about fraud, but some
Yep.
Tell us what we've got.
Well, I know it's probably been a while since you've taken a test or been
back
in school or anything. Yes. So don't get nervous. It's okay if you don't get it right.
Are there right answers?
There are right and wrong answers, but it's okay if you don't get it right. And I want everyone at home to play along.
Okay.
And tell me, you know, what you would think. Some are pretty obvious, some are not. But the reason I want to do this is because, you know, fraud is a big deal, especially in the financial industry. You know, financial institutions are one of the top groups that are a target. We do everything we can behind the scenes, and our IT department is great. And, you know, we're working hard every day to make sure that the hackers don't get to us. But we want our customers to be aware of schemes and things that are going on, and we want them to work hard to, you know, to prevent anything from happening to them, because it's, you know, it's infuriating.
Right, absolutely.
It's a lot of work, and it can really damage not just your, you know, your bank account, but, you know, anything else associated with your credit score, your financial life, and it's a lot of work. So,
how good will I do? I think I'll do well. Let's just hear them.
No cheating.
No cheating. No,
okay.
I won't look.
Okay, question number one.
Question number one.
You get a call from this government agency.
Okay.
You don't believe it's legitimate.
Okay.
You could be right, because more scammers pose as employees of this agency than any other agency. Now, it's multiple choice, so I'll give you your options. Is it the Internal Revenue Service, the Social Security Administration, the U.S. Postal Service, or the Federal Unemployment Agency? Your answer is?
IRS.
You are right on. That is correct. The IRS is the most commonly mimicked in fraudulent attempts to get your personal information. Here's the deal. The IRS will rarely contact you.
Yeah, they do by mail.
They do by mail. So if you get a phone call or an email or anything like that that comes from the IRS, it's not coming from the IRS. It's coming
I would
from
think
a
where
scammer.
people would go, if it's the IRS, I better do something. And I think that's the panic stage. It's
Well,
the IRS. Yeah,
and
but it's
people, the
IRS,
people that are on the phone calling you, getting you personally, they are skilled in intimidating you
Absolutely.
and making you believe that you are in trouble. And if you
Absolutely.
don't take action, you're
a
going
great
to be
question.
in big trouble.
Great
So,
question.
anytime anybody calls or emails from the IRS, please be very leery. Please, say, no, I don't think it's you. Hang up. Hang up. Don't open the email. Investigate it for yourself. If you're really worried that it might be, find the number, call the IRS
Sure.
yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay, very good.
I did one
First
for
one's
one.
checked.
One for one.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
You just won $800,000 in the Jamaican lottery. You got that email, you bit, and you wired them $400.
Right, yeah.
Okay, that was a mistake. We all know that now. You don't win the lottery, they don't
Right.
call you and say you got to send money when you win the
Right.
lottery.
Okay.
We know that. Everybody knows that. But it would be a much greater mistake if you would have done this. 1, dialed the callback number for further instructions. 2, notified the IRS of your good fortune. 3, contacted the Jamaican Lottery. Or 4, called the Better Business Bureau.
And the question is, what
Which
would have
you-
been worse?
Right, worse than wiring the $400.
Call the number back and try to get more information.
That's right, because most of these numbers are coming from area codes 876, 809, and 284. These are Caribbean countries where the per minute rate is often $3, $4, $5, $10 a minute, 10 times higher than what it should be.
And they'll talk you.
And they'll talk to you. They'll keep you on the phone forever, jacking up your bill, then you owe them
Yep.
even more than $400.
Scam, isn't it? Yep.
Scam. Smart scammers.
Yep.
They're smart. They know how to get you. Okay, you're 2 for 2.
Oh, I'm
Good
good.
job.
I'm good. Let's hear the
All right,
next.
The third one. Scammers actually have a way to create a phone number that's familiar to you. So it'll look like your bank or
That's
an
correct.
organization that you're familiar with. And it'll appear on your caller ID like
Mm-hmm.
that. This might cause you to reveal information that could cause identity fraud.
Okay.
What is this technique called? Caller ID spoofing, the phone dupe, the friendly fake out, or dial-a-dope.
Spoofing.
Yes, it's spoofing. I just wanted to throw that in because I wanted to say dial-a-dope. Don't be a dope.
No, dial-a-dope. They call it dial-a-dope.
Yes, spoofing. Like I said,
I like it.
They've gotten very advanced
Yeah,
with their phone calls. They've caught on that people won't answer if it's from an unknown
Sure.
number now. So they'll make it look like a number
Absolutely.
that you know.
Absolutely.
So
Very
even
common.
if it does come in and you go, oh, that's my bank calling me, and you answer it, and they ask you for your personal information, anything like a social security number, a date of birth, your bank account number, anything like that, then hang up. It's not us. We're not going
Right.
to call you and ask you for that.
Right.
We know that.
Right.
We don't
You've already got
ask.
it on file. Yeah.
So hang up, call the institution that you believe that it's coming from back and ask them those questions. Don't be a dope.
Right.
Our customers are not dopes.
No.
Like I said, these people are very smart. They know how to get you. Okay, all right. Good job, good job. All right,
Yeah.
you get a call from someone claiming to be from the electric company saying your electric bill's overdue. They ask for your account number for verification purposes and your credit card number. Why is this probably a scam? 1, because you've already paid your bill. 2, because a representative would already have your account number. 3, you don't recall getting any past due notices. Or 4, a representative would never ask for a credit card number.
Wow.
That one's a little tricky.
Well, what was the first one?
You're pretty sure you paid your last bill?
No, that's not it.
No.
Okay, what's the second one?
A representative would have your account number on screen.
I would say that is true. All right, what's number 3?
You don't recall getting a past due notice.
I would not, probably not.
And a representative would never ask for a credit card number.
I'm going to say
Go with it?
2.
Yeah. Yep, 2 is right, but 4 is
4
also
could be.
right
Yeah,
too,
4 could be.
because 1,
Yeah.
and we just kind of we just touched on this. You know, if someone's calling you about something, if they are legitimately from the organization that they're calling from, and you have an account with them, and it's past due,
They have that,
they
yeah.
have your account
Sure,
number. They have your
absolutely.
information.
Yeah.
So again, just to reiterate what we said, if somebody's calling you, emailing you, contacting you in any way, asking for personal information, be leery. Don't give it to them. Hang up.
I'm doing good.
Yeah, I think you're about to get a perfect score. Okay, last one.
Okay.
According to the FBI, older Americans are frequent victims of internet scammers because they have nest eggs and because of this. Is it 1, they're not as adept on the internet as younger people are? 2, they tend to leave their computers on for long periods of time, making access to it easier. 3, they frequently are not even aware they've been swindled. Or 4, they're less likely to report being swindled.
Wow. I don't know that I can get that one, because I do know that Cindy Black tells us constantly to not, once you log in, whether it's to Facebook or whatever, always log out, because it gives you the right, it gives those people the chance. What was number 1?
They're not as adept on the internet. They leave their computers on, they're not even aware they've been scammed, or they're less likely to report it.
I'm going to say they're less likely to report it.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 100%.
they're
And
less
that, and
likely.
all of these are, you know, as we have seen from experience here, reasons that the older American population is targeted.
Right, yeah.
You know, they play on emotions. They play on, you know, with the internet. You know, if you're not as savvy and you don't know what to look for,
Sure.
they'll try to get something through to you. But unfortunately and sadly, the main reason is because it goes unreported a lot. And a lot of times that's because it's either the fraud is coming from someone that you know,
Right,
you know,
right.
and so you don't want to report it because, I don't want to get them
Yeah,
in trouble. You
right,
know, it's
sure.
a caretaker or a family
Sure.
member or whatever. You know, in those cases, those people are not being kind to you and good to you. And so, you know, if you're worried about getting them in trouble, don't. They're taking your money.
Right,
You know,
absolutely.
they're taking your ID.
Absolutely.
You need to
Yeah,
report them.
absolutely you
No
do.
matter how hard it is.
Absolutely.
And 2, a lot of people feel embarrassed because they, you know, got taken for a ride. And I mean, hey, it happens to
Absolutely. Can
everybody.
anybody.
And so it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something to be mad about, sure, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. And you know, not reporting it just means that it's going to continue, and that person got away with it. And we don't want that person to get away with, you know, scamming our customers or our neighbors or anything. So report it. You can call, you know, if it has anything to do with your bank account or whatever, absolutely call
Call the
us,
bank,
and
yeah.
we'll get you going. There is the Consumer Protection Bureau that you can call, and I actually have a couple of different. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's office for older Americans, they actually have a division there that you can call, look up the number, or you know, send them an email.
Right.
There's also the Do Not Call registry. It's a government site as well that you can find online, and you can put your number on the Do Not Call list, especially if you still own a home line,
Right,
a landline.
absolutely,
Put your phone
right.
number on there so you don't even have to deal with those
Right.
calls. Again, people still try to get through to you, and so just, I guess the overall moral of the quiz, and you did great. Congratulations, 100% A plus. Moved to the top of the class. Is that, you know, we've just got to be aware of what's going on. We really hate to think of our world as being full of people that want to take advantage of you
Absolutely.
and do terrible things. But the reality is, it happens all the time. We see it every day. So
Here is something that I consider myself to be. People say that I'm rude, and I consider it a protection for myself. If I get a phone call on my phone, and they don't leave a message, I'm not calling them back. I'm not going to call and say, because of those numbers may not be those right numbers. And even in my phone, if it says Tara Salinas called me, I probably will not call you back. And I try to tell people, I say, if you want me to call you back, leave a message, would you call me back?
Right.
Because I'm just assuming that you're calling,
and you didn't see me, so you called somebody else, so you really didn't need. If you need me, leave a message, and I will call people back, and people get on to me for that.
You know, text people, hey, again.
Did you call?
Yeah,
sure.
you can still be, you know, even with the caller ID, you know, we talked about that.
Yeah.
That can still be deceptive. And like I said, I hate to be the person that tells everyone to please be skeptical of things, but you have to.
Absolutely.
To protect yourself, because like I said, the scammers are really smart, and they can get in your head, they can mess with your emotions, they can, you know, make you feel like you're in trouble or someone of your family is in trouble, you know, and get you worried and upset. When you're in that state, you're more likely to let your guard down. So, you know, just please, please, please be aware of that, and, you know, try to thwart that.
real quick story, and it happened in our family, and it happened to a grandmother in our family, where the grandmother was called, got a long distance phone call, or got a phone call, and it was a grandson on the end. Granny, I'm in trouble. I'm in Mexico. I'm on my senior trip. I got thrown in jail, and they need you to send $8,000 down here to get me out. And she goes to Walmart to get the money to bail him out. And the folks at Walmart said, look, ma'am, this is a scam. You don't need, and come to find out, it just took a simple call to the dad of the kid. Is my grandson really in Mexico? No, he's in school. I mean, he's not on a trip. No, he's not. It happens. It just
all the time.
Absolutely.
See it in here all the time. And like
happens.
I said, we train our folks to recognize that. And when somebody comes in and they're in that state, or they want to wire a large amount of money, we ask a lot of questions. I know people think we're all nosy and in their business, but we just want to help and prevent anyone from experiencing that.
You know, that's good stuff. That's good stuff to talk about. Yeah, I like that. I like it. And I don't like it if I made zero. Okay. But because I mean, people need to be aware about fraud in the schemes, and I mean, that if they want your money, they're going to try to get it.
They will. Try to get it. I hope everybody learned something. David already knew it all, but I hope everybody else learned something. And you know, we encourage people to call us with any questions they have. We're happy to talk to you about any issues or concerns at any time.
Tara Salinas, Merchants Planners Bank, and it's good information about fraud. And I appreciate you taking time on a busy Port Fest week. Downtown Newport's going to rock and roll this weekend.
Go have fun.
Thank you, girl. Appreciate you.
All right.
Unity Health, Harris Medical Center, and we have someone new we want to introduce to Newport, Arkansas. Andy Justice, how are you, my friend?
Very well.
Andy Justice is in orthopedics here at the Harris Medical Center. And first of all, welcome to Newport, Arkansas.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about Andy Justice. Tell us about where you grew up. Tell us a little bit about education and family. Tell us a little bit about you.
Grew up in Searcy.
Okay.
From about kindergarten on. Attended high school and just school at Harding Academy, and then went to Harding University.
Right.
After that, I went on to PA training at Birmingham, Alabama. And from there, practiced in orthopedics and emergency medicine in East Tennessee.
Okay.
For about 8 years, and then about 2 years ago, moved back to Arkansas and to the Searcy area. And January of this year, began working here in Newport 1 day a week with general orthopedics.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Tell us a little bit about it, and we'll get into education and so on a little bit, but tell me about your family. You're from Searcy, you say your family there, but tell me about your family.
Wife, and have 2 little girls.
Good.
Who are 7 and 5.
Right.
And we're loving being back in Arkansas and in the Searcy and Central Arkansas community.
You know, a lot of people that grow up in Arkansas, small town communities like Searcy and in a Newport, and that move away, and then most people just love coming back. And a lot of it has to do with work, but a lot of it has to do with family and just what you feel comfortable with. And I'm sure a lot of that had to do with your being back where you are today.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell us the day that you're here. Tell us the days that you're working at the clinic here.
I'm here in Newport Wednesdays.
Okay.
From 8:30 to about 4.
Okay.
And seeing general orthopedic conditions, and provide appropriate services for that.
Okay.
Work in conjunction with 3 orthopedic surgeons in Searcy, and so we direct any further surgical care on to Searcy for further treatment.
All right, and when you talk about general orthopedics, give me some examples of what you might see and what you might treat, and what is in that general category?
General orthopedics would be made up of basically joint pain, arthritis, knees, hips, shoulders, most commonly. Additionally, small fractures.
Okay.
Just an observation of those treatments, as well as offering injections for arthritis type
there you go.
Conditions.
Right.
For a temporary fix, and to see if we need to consider surgical options on down the road.
Gotcha. Physician's assistant. I want to ask you about that, and that's a term that you may or may not be familiar with. And but explain what a physician's assistant is, please, sir.
Physician assistant is it's considered a mid-level practitioner.
Okay.
Nurse practitioners are in that same grouping.
Okay.
Which our services or just our abilities falls somewhere between less than a physician.
Okay.
But more than nurses or nursing staff. So
Okay.
able to prescribe, do minor procedures with the oversight of our appropriate physicians.
Wow, good deal, good deal. Andy, let me ask you this: why medical? Why the medical field?
Growing up, when I was little, being in the Searcy community around many healthcare professionals, and just seeing the industry and seeing that this is an opportunity to help people, be able to offer just assistance, whatever might be needed.
Absolutely.
So trying to fill in a gap, and felt very fortunate to be in this field and have the chance to meet a lot of wonderful people.
Absolutely. Well, we in Newport, Arkansas feel very fortunate to have you here, and we welcome you with open arms and hope it's a great stay. And folks in Newport are good folks, and we don't meet strangers. We like folks that come in and want to be a part of the community and want to be, want to help. And just like I said, that's what medical people do. Y'all help other people, and we appreciate that very, very much.
Well, thank you. It's been a warm welcome so far.
Good deal. Andy Justice, my friend, good to see you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And physician's assistant in orthopedics. And folks, let me tell you what, you don't have to go to the big city anymore. You can just call us at 8911 over at the hospital, and they'll direct you to Andy Justice's office right here, and we can get you started if you need some orthopedic help.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the June edition of the Farmers Supply Association Farm Report. I'm Randy Klepechka, agronomist for Farmers Supply Association. Well, we're taping on June 1st. It's been quite a May. We got off to a really good start in April. We had good planting conditions until about, I would say, the last week of April. Then the rains kicked in, and we've had rain really since the last week of April through most of May. A lot of flooding. All the rivers in the Jackson County area and surrounding areas have had flooding. Any kind of ditches, streams, creeks, etc. have all flooded. So, our farmers have really dealt with a lot of flooding issues after that good start back in April. It damaged some crops, it ruined some crops, so just really a lot of problems caused by the flooding. Just delaying of the planting of a lot of our soybeans and other crops has been an issue too. So, just numerous problems that the flooding caused, and we're just trying, again, as we tape on June 1st, trying to recover from some of that and kind of get maybe off to a fresh new start in some areas actually, and trying to get those crops that did survive to recover and to do well. Just want to go through our major crops and tell you a little bit about the damage, where we're at now, how we are in the recovery process. With rice, actually surprisingly survived pretty well in places. I've heard stories of rice that was under for 20-something days, coming out, it'd be stretched out, laying on the ground, but with a little time, a little warm weather and sunshine, a lot of that rice is shot out a new tiller, is kind of greened up, it's starting to recover pretty nicely. So rice is just an incredibly resilient crop. A lot of times people say, well, it'll only maybe last 10 to 14 days under that water, but we've learned, in past years, in cases, 20-something days, and this year certainly maybe survived as well as I've seen it in a long time. So, we're recovering on that flooded rice and trying to make some recovery there. Some things we need to do, just kind of baby that crop. Need to clean it up. We need to avoid harsh herbicides during that process, but we need to get the crop cleaned up, with herbicides and get all those weeds out of there, and that'll help a lot. We need to get to fertilize our nitrogen out there on dry ground if at all possible. That's something we've had an issue with over this last part of May, is trying, it's raining every few days. Just about the time the ground dries up and you think I'm going to be able to put my nitrogen on dry ground, get another rain, and we really prefer that nitrogen go out on dry ground. It's much more efficient. You know, if we get to the point where it's time to do something, then you got to put it on wet ground, hope it dries up and you flood up, or just put it on wet ground and flood it up. It's going to be more inefficient that way, but there's some things we can do to kind of monitor that. So, you know, when you have to do that, we can kind of look at the crop and see, you know, if we need to make some adjustments at mid-season. As we talk about mid-season, and when we go to that from that vegetative to reproductive stage, that'll be here before you know it. You know, these crops are more compact in their growing season now with the varieties we have. So before you know it, we'll be to mid-season. Before you know it, that rice will be heading out, and before you know it, that rice will be harvested. So, you know, when things get warm here and we recover from the flooding issues and everything, this crop is going to move along very quickly, I should say. And I think that hopefully we'll have a good crop when the fall gets here. But, you know, a long way to go, but still a chance to have a good crop, I think. Soybeans, of course, they're a lot less tolerant of the flooding, although in some cases, certain varieties seem to be holding up a little better maybe than they have in past years. I think we've got some good varieties out there in certain situations that hold up to the wet conditions. We had some cool weather, some cloudy weather. That always helps have less damage from the water if it's a little cooler and cloudy. And when that crop's trying to recover, that'll help it stand it a little bit better. Delayed planting, of course, has occurred. We got off to a great start, had more April beans planted than I've seen in a long time, but in May, not much planting at all. So, you know, we've got a lot of delayed planting. A lot of our soybeans will be planted in June. Some management issues there. Stay with the Group 4 varieties in most cases. We used to tell people to switch to Group 5s. All the planting date studies have shown that the Group 4s hold up well into these later plantings and actually do better. So you need to stay with the Group 4 varieties. The University of Arkansas has learned in some research over the past few years that inoculants are very, very effective on these later plantings. If you use an inoculant in June plantings, normally you're going to get 5 to 6 bushels. If you get into those July plantings, which we hope we don't have many of, but some of the yield increases are as much as 10 bushels from using an inoculant that doesn't cost a lot of money. So keep that in mind on these later plantings. Group 4 varieties, you use an inoculant on those varieties, and you know, help keep that yield potential pretty good, even though it's going to be down somewhat from the later planting. Again, just like with rice, we need to get that crop clean. We need to time our herbicides very well and get it, you know, kill small weeds and not let them be a problem that could contribute to you know, less yield potential on our soybeans. So again, just, you know, on these replants, watch the varieties and things like that, get these varieties cleaned up, and before you know it, we're probably going to have to be looking at some irrigation, because sometimes, you know, when the rain ends, usually you're only about 7 to 10 days away from a drought. So got to be very aware of that, because most of these crops are going to have limited root systems and they could go to drought stress pretty quickly if this rain ends like it usually does. Corn, most of our corn's on higher ground and has survived pretty well. We did have some flood damage, and corn's not real tolerant of flooding for a while, so we have lost some corn. But really, the corn that's on the higher ground, the sandier ground, has recovered well. It's in that growth stage, growth spurt, as you can see behind me. People have got their nitrogen out there, and the corn is really kicked off and is growing well right now. Be tasseling before you know it, and we'll have a crop made before you know it. So, you know, the big thing I think with corn is be ready for irrigation. We were talking about with soybeans, it's even going to be more critical for corn because of its water needs. So be ready when we go a few days without rain, especially get a week plus without rain. It's going to be time to start getting some water on this corn. So again, the flood and heavy rains in May have been the big story, but we still got time to recover on a lot of these crops. So hopefully the weather will be good from here on out, and we can harvest a good crop come this fall. For more information, you can contact me through Farmers Supply Association, and this has been Randy Klepechka with the June edition of the Farmers Supply Association Farm Report.
Welcome to the Sports Report, brought to you by the Bank of England, the mortgage company. The Bank of England Mortgage Company, located in the Village Mall, and Kenny Thaxton at 870-495-3941. If you're looking for a mortgage of any kind, if you're looking for a home mortgage, the Bank of England Mortgage Company in the Newport Village Mall is the place to go. Visit with Kenny Thaxton about new mortgages, if you're looking for your first home mortgage, if you're looking to refinance your current mortgage and lower your interest rate, which could possibly lower your payment and possibly save you hundreds of dollars per month, talk to Kenny Thaxton at the Bank of England Mortgage Company in the Village Mall. They are an equal housing lender and a member FDIC.
And now
Albert Pujols will stand in yet again, sitting on 599 career home runs.
We love round numbers in baseball. At least we always have. The new school scoffs more loudly by the ear, arguing that career home run number 600 is no more valuable than 599.
Albert drives one out the left. There she goes. Number 599, and the Angels have a 3-2 lead.
Here's why they're wrong. Because when we look upon those zeros, we pause. We recall where we were and what we felt at mileposts along the way.
First career big league home run. And after watching this kid in batting practice and that swing right there, it will not be nearly the last.
Welcome to the 500 home run club, Albert Pujols.
We read the list of others in the club, and it doesn't take very long because there aren't many names and we are quite familiar with them. So goes the ritual now with Albert Pujols on the occasion of his 600th career home run.
This one's got a chance to go.
The 600 home run club just got bigger. Albert Pujols, you're its newest member.
Pujols is the 9th to accomplish the feat and the 6th in the current millennium, as the exclusive company has grown greater in number and controversy in recent years. But Pujols deserves the honor of a heartfelt tribute, one that properly celebrates a career almost without compare.
He is absolutely, unequivocally unbelievable.
Pujols is now one of only 2 players with 600 home runs, a World Series ring, a Rookie of the Year award, and an MVP. The other is Willie Mays. Pujols is even younger now than Mays when he gained membership to the club. In fact, only 3 men were younger than Pujols when they hit number 600. Alex Rodriguez, Babe Ruth, and Henry Aaron. As a Cardinal, Pujols dominated. As an Angel, he endures. Both acts have been indelible. Over 11 seasons in St. Louis, Pujols averaged 40 home runs per year and never hit fewer than 32. And while he hit nearly 3/4 of his home runs while wearing a Cardinals uniform, Pujols has willed his way to 3 30-homer seasons in Anaheim, playing on many nights through searing pain in his right foot.
At the knees and crushed by Pujols, giving him home run number 40.
Mike Trout, the best player on the planet, hit 70 home runs for the Angels over the past 2 seasons. Pujols hit 71.
Big fly for Albert Pujols.
In time, the modern-day mantle could reach the milestone that proved elusive to the original, but it won't be easy. Trout averaged about 33 home runs per year during his first 5 All-Star seasons with the Angels. He'll need to maintain that pace for another 13 years to join Pujols' new company. Miguel Cabrera hit his 450th career home run earlier this season, so he's 3/4 of the way there. But he's had only one 30-homer season since 2013, meaning he may need 6 more solid seasons to reach 600. And Cabrera just turned 34. It is through those comparisons that we realize how fortunate we've been to witness the unfolding of a magnificent career. More people have walked on the moon than have hit 600 home runs in Major League Baseball. The round number reminds us that Albert Pujols is one of the greatest, purest power hitters to pick up a baseball bat in this galaxy, and probably any other.